Hey everyone, welcome back. Now if you remember from last week's episode, we were gonna attach everything with these extremely dangerous arcing kind of terminal things that don't go onto our batteries. But after getting through Christmas, I realized I want to live. So we are going to be using these instead. Tyler is in charge of installation today, and we're going to try and finally get this thing livable. Yeah. Here we have our first wires connecting the batteries in series together, and they do not look like they're doing too bad. But now here comes the fun part, where we hook it all up into parallel and attach it to our charge controller and our inverter. December 27th. We have a little bit of our outside paper done, but most importantly, we have solar.
Just in time for a cloudy day.
Just in time for a cloudy day. So I'm going to let you guys know what kind of the complications are that happened. Turns out I was supposed to be getting 6-volt batteries, and we were supposed to wire them together so that they would be a 12-volt system. But because I was kind of focused on everything being 12-volt, I got all 4 of these batteries as 12-volt batteries, which at first I thought was a problem, but I just wired them up parallel instead of in series and parallel, and now all of them work together. If anyone really wants to know more about that boring stuff, feel free to leave a comment or contact me on Facebook. But yeah, so we got that all set up. We got the room, which is a mess because we're just kind of halfway moving into this thing. Me and Tyler got in here last night, and because of all the insulation around, we actually had a very toasty night. We ran our new heater here on the gas generator last night for about an hour, and it got so hot in here we actually had to turn it off within just like 20 minutes of running it. But behind it here is kind of the star of our show, which is our 2000 watt inverter and our charge controller attached to our battery out there. That's all wired right in through there, the floor there. Probably going to end up insulating in there, and then we're going to carpet all over everything, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I ran everything so far so good, and just for safety, because I haven't grounded this thing out or anything yet, I have this surge protector going to our heating unit, which is not, 100% ideal, but it'll stop this thing from surging back into the inverter and hurting it. But ideally, we're definitely going to want to get this whole system grounded out soon. I have the copper grounding spike and the wire for it, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, we have electric power to heat tonight. As long as we don't leave it running for too long, and I think 20 minutes is just fine, we should be bueno. As of right now, we're only running off of 1 panel and 2 batteries because I need additional connectors to attach the other panel over here, and a little bit more wiring because I had to change my wire plan. So we just need to grab a couple connectors from the store tomorrow, and I'm waiting on the solar parts in Tractor Supply. Well, as it turns out, there are rainy days here in Arizona. Not every day is a sunshiny wonderland. There's a bit of fog coming off the mountain there. And we've got everything. Went through fairly quickly. We knew that rain was coming last night. So we kind of hastily put up a tarp to make sure the roof didn't get messed up while we're waiting to get the rest of the roofing on. So you can see a little bit of precipitation. Sasha's enjoying it. But the important thing is the box still stands. The wind was a little rough last night, and we have unfortunately lost our utility yurt. So we're gonna have to be emptying that out today, putting it in our last standing all-season super survival yurt. And the solar's going well still. We're currently charging all of our stuff off of it. The heater's been working great. Today's task, because the wind was a little worrying last night, is we're finally gonna try and brace up these legs down here, which are kind of just relying on nothing but the strength of the 4x4s to hold it up. Which isn't bad, but once things start getting a little wiggly, you start kind of worrying about how this thing's doing, considering it's so high up. Alright, it's January 2nd. We just got through all our holidays and everything. I'm kind of forgetting where I left things off, so I think I'm just gonna briefly go over how everything kind of ended with the electrical, and also a couple of questions that I've heard come from a couple people. And so first of all, the electric did work, but it seems like the battery's draining pretty quick during the night. I'm not sure if maybe we are at half capacity still. We need to still upgrade everything, but it just seems like whenever we turn on the heat, it just blows through our batteries pretty quick. It's nothing that I can't fix, but it just seems like they're huge batteries. I can't imagine like just running the heat for like 5 minutes depletes the battery so quick. I'm wondering if maybe just because we only have one panel charging it right now, I'm thinking that probably it's just not charging it back up to full quick enough by the time we get back to it at night. So we're probably only at about like 3/4 charge by the time we get to it. It hasn't kicked out on us or anything yet, but we've definitely been using the heating sparingly. Another possibility is during travel here, or because of the really cold temperatures at night, the batteries could have been damaged and aren't actually able to hold a full charge anymore. So I'm hoping it's not that. But I did at one point have these things charged to full, and I'm wondering if we might just have to not use some of the power one of the nights just to let this thing get all the way back to full. We'll see about that. As far as something else, a lot of people have been thinking that we're just moved into the middle of nowhere, Arizona. You know, not a human being in sight for 3 hours or something. We're not like in the middle of the Australian outback or something like that. We literally have a neighbor right over there. So we are not in the middle of nowhere. We have 2 close neighbors, 2 of which have been very nice. They've even offered us to use their flatbed trailer to maybe bring some lumber in for our project here and stuff like that. They seem really nice. We're going to be having dinner with them at some point. And town is like not even 15 minutes. I'd say, yeah, it takes like 10 minutes to drive to town. There's a hardware store, there's a whole strip, a bunch of lovely people. Like, the hardware store I go to has everything. I mean, I can't even believe how much they have for being like a small town hardware store. They've got lumber, they've got pretty much anything I've ever needed. I've actually found stuff in that hardware store that I couldn't find in Ace Hardware in Benson. So they're pretty good. Tyler really likes one of the cafes in town. They've got pretty good food. Yeah, But other than that, I ended up bracing up the legs of this box because it was a little wiggly in there, not gonna lie. These things are about 4 foot each, and we weren't really sure how sturdy it was, but now it feels ridiculously sturdy. There's almost no wiggle at all when we're in the box, so I might brace it all up again at some point, but for now it's pretty good. And I can't say we've ever really hit a point yet where we're really wanting for water. I'm sure that'll change a little bit once we get into the summer, but because of where we are up here in the mountains, the temperature's not bad at all. Today's projects, I'm going to be doing the roof of the box because right now I've just kind of had it undone. There's no rain here really. We've had one rainy day, two rainy days, but the second day, like, it was just a sprinkling, barely anything. I wouldn't even say it was enough to make a puddle, you know? So I threw the tarp up onto the top of it to kind of protect it for now, but it's kind of a nice, not so windy day today. So I'm gonna be getting up on that roof, and I'm gonna try and get the tarp off, tar paper down, metal roof on, and I'm also going to try to hook up all 4 batteries because I finally got the connectors, but I'm waiting on the parts from Tractor Supply still to connect the second solar panel on. So we'll have a bigger battery bank, but we're not going to have enough solar power to really charge up these batteries. So we might even have to get a 3rd solar panel, considering the batteries are actually bigger than I had originally designed for. So yeah, that's the plan for today. I would just like to also point out that this thing I call the danger ladder, because it has the weirdest kind of hookup I've ever seen in my whole life, and it's only allowable for 200 pounds of weight to be on it. And I don't know about most people, but about now I'd probably guess I'm over 200 pounds. And whatever else I'm hauling up probably adds a bit to that, not to mention the side pouches I got. So if I die, let it be known that it was probably this thing. We had our carport all set up here, but then got a little windy out, and holy crap, look at this. Our whole carport just got lifted right up and like dumped out in the brush over here. I can't even believe that. All the cardboard and everything, we've got all sorts of stuff just kind of hanging out and around, but that whole big heavy carport was just lifted right out of the ground, stakes and all. Just pulled right out. That sucks.
I think part of it is
Well, with only about 15 minutes worth of recording time left, I thought I'd give you guys a quick little walk around of what the camp is looking like now while we're waiting on the permits for the Earthship. You know, kind of give you an idea of where we're at, where we are comfort-wise. We've got a little fire pit here we have our fires with, a couple parking spots, garbage cans, our little starter greenhouse that we're going to set up as soon as we figure out how to get the wind not to blow it to hell. Tyler's kitchen, which of course you guys will probably have seen by now, all set up and nice. Then there's the box. Finally all done. 2 solar panels, all 4 batteries running. We're finally at optimal power, and the difference was completely noticeable. The next step's probably going to be to put these things on something a little bit more stable than just kind of leaning against the box with some with some brackets keeping them there. But yeah, the inside of the box right now is looking pretty snazzy. We've got Tyler came up with these burlap wall things and a pretty nice little thing up top. We've got these lights, and at night these things light this place up. We can finally live. There's Munch chilling out on the bed. Yeah, we've got everything we need in here. It's super insulated and toasty. We only have to run the heater for maybe like 10 minutes, and we're already pretty warm. The benefit of a tiny home. So yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, and we have these outdoor closets for our clothes. I had to strap them in because, again, coming down to Arizona, I was picturing monsoons, heat, critters, animals, all sorts of things, but, I never even once considered that, like, crazy wind was going to be an issue out here. It's, most days it's nice, but then we'll just hit this one day where, like, the winds just gust up like crazy. So yeah, that's what we have for camp. We still have our yurt back there. That's mostly just become storage at this point. Very nice, sturdy storage. I don't regret spending money on it because, again, it survives the winds pretty easily. It's a 4-season survival tent. So yeah, that's what we have so far. Next is going to be siding the box and kind of finishing up the roof. I've got basically the top bit of the roof on, but I gotta kind of get some metal flashings around to make sure no water gets underneath that. But rain happens so often out here that I barely really even have to worry about it. Again, we're keeping most of our stuff outside. Even our clothes there on the side. We're probably going to build like a little overhang or something that we can enclose on stormy days or anything like that. But literally for the next week out, it's all sunshine, 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 which is great. A lot of people complain about it, I guess for water purposes, but, for our purposes right now, it's pretty nice. So yeah, that's where we'll leave you guys for now. We'll keep you updated on a lot of things. We've got a lot of projects going on. And my next biggest thing, that a lot of people are probably going to call me a psychopath for, is all of this, at least all of our property. I need to clear all of this grass and like a decent amount of all these little mesquite trees and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to try and clear of it, as much of it as I can. I've tried to use the weed whacker on it, and it's just impossible. The weed whacker gets caught up, choked up, and dead. Or the strings snap off, like maybe a couple swings through it. It's really dense grass, and there's like a bunch of really even thicker bushes kind of mixed in there. But I definitely want to get it done soon because we're in winter, so I don't really have to worry about snakes and spiders and stuff quite as much. All those are kind of dormant right now. I don't think Tyler saw one big spider on a walk, and our neighbors said that was pretty odd. So, nothing but birds and coyotes right now. So I want to get out and clear this grass while I have that advantage. So, we'll see. But for now, happy trails and see you in the next